Hey, welcome, friends and family. Super excited to be here with you today with our second interview with Gage Woolbright. Gage, thank you for being here today. And now you've been with us how many days?
Right at a month, so I'd say 4 weeks roughly. This is my
Okay.
4th week starting
Okay.
out.
All right, great. So come to us with no real major background in sales or
No.
anything like that. So you're kind of hitting um, you're hitting the pavement wide open.
Mhm.
That windshield going full time, right?
Oh, yeah.
We were talking earlier, average real estate agent will, in the state of Tennessee, will close 4, maybe 6 deals a year. They'll work
Mhm.
all year and do that. Now, a new guy just started in real estate, 24 years old,
Mhm. 24.
and your first 30 days in, what's it looking like for you? How many you have pending currently?
Well, as of right now, I have 2 closed. I closed on 2 last Friday,
You
and I
closed 2.
have
Okay.
1 pending right now, and I just submitted another offer this Saturday for another property. So
Oh, man. Wow.
so definitely rolling.
Wow. 2 closed,
Mhm.
1 pending, 1 hot prospect that you even got an offer
Yes,
going
sir.
right now.
Mhm.
Wonderful, Gage. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate
That
it. It's been fun getting to get out there and get to put in offers and learn. It's definitely a fun
mhm,
business to come into.
Yeah, that's big league. So how many, and when we talk about hot prospects,
Mhm.
these are people that you feel like are going to do something in the next 30, 45 days. How many prospects do you have that you think will come forward in the next 30 days?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as of right now, I'd say I have a solid 3 to 5 that I'm working with constantly that I think are about ready to purchase.
Hmm.
And then, they're constantly have leads coming in. So I'm
Hmm.
I'm working with another 3 right now, getting them through our great lender. So
That's
so I got a
awesome.
lot coming down the food chain right now.
That's awesome, brother. Now, where are most of these folks you're working with? They're generally buyers that you're
Hmm.
working with? Where are they coming from? Are they local or coming from different states?
Yeah, quite a few of mine have been local, honestly, just looking to move. I mean, most of them have been Tennessee, but not Cookeville local. So
Okay.
they're moving to this area, and then a couple investors from out of state, and
Okay.
and a lot of land prospects. A lot of people are looking to buy land. So.
Okay. Well, Gage, bringing in a lot of activity early
Mhm.
in, not just anybody can handle what you're handling. I mean, I know it's not without pressure. I know it's not
Oh
without
yeah.
stress. I know that when we first met you, we seen a motivated man. We seen
Mhm.
somebody that could handle pressure and can handle stress. You're already very successful. You had a great job at Averett.
Mhm.
You had been given good responsibility there, are earning, I think, 50, 60,000 a year
Mhm.
working at Averett. So as a young man, we could see that you were already pretty strong. But talk to me today a little bit about the advantages and the benefits of having a coach working with you. And I know that's not me.
Mhm.
KC's our coach.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that,
Well,
please.
having KC in your back corner is amazing. It's like having someone who always knows what to say when you need it.
Hmm.
And like anyone else knows, when you start a new career or jump into something you don't know, I mean, the one thing that scares everybody is the unknowns.
Yeah.
And having someone that knows those and is
Mhm.
more than willing to share and
Mhm.
elaborate on any question you may have or the answers has been more than beneficial.
Yeah.
He's available all throughout the week and the weekends.
Hmm.
And it's been very fantastic, kind of getting to nosedive into knowledge and learning what real estate's about and really getting to learn how I can best help somebody.
Yeah, yeah, man. You're doing a phenomenal job. And like you said, when you first start something, you're feeling in the dark a little bit, so you don't know.
Mhm.
You're dealing with contracts. You're helping people purchase
Mhm.
3, 4, 500,000, and it don't even matter if it's $40,000 property, but you're helping people buy one of their biggest investments, and you got a contract sitting right there.
Mhm.
And so if you've got half a brain, and I know you do, that's a little bit. That's kind of intense, right?
Mhm.
Like you don't want to mess that up. You want to make sure that's done right.
For sure.
And having somebody like Casey, who's a coach and a trainer that you can go to, that you can ask those
Mhm.
questions, it helps a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, and
Mhm.
being able that I'd say that's probably the most nervous part I would say is because
Mhm.
you look at a contract and you're the one to guide the other people, and if you're coming into it, you kind of need to be guided yourself
Mhm.
just to make sure
Mhm.
they get the best service they can get.
Yeah.
And having Casey there's definitely one of a kind, and I think very unique. One things
Mhm.
I would say for Elevate, in my opinion,
Mhm.
is it's unique to have that coaching and team
Mhm.
aspect that we have, and
Yeah.
be able to talk to anybody, even if Casey's not there. We have an amazing team that
Mhm.
I can ask questions to anytime.
Yeah.
So it's very beneficial.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. Well, you're doing a great job, Gage. Glad you're with us. Two
Thank you,
closed,
sir.
one pending, one
Mhm.
offer being negotiated currently,
Yep.
3 to 5 hot prospects. So we're excited for you, man. Excited to be able to visit with you today. Excited to come back and talk with you. One of the things that we really believe in sales is
Mm.
education, right?
Mhm.
Today we were going over the Ziglar secrets on the closing. And Zig
Yes.
Ziglar, anybody's ever heard of Zig Ziglar, phenomenal man, good God-fearing man, and he really put together a great book on how to help people
Mhm.
through the process. And one of the things that we were learning today was the value of educating people
Mhm.
in helping them in that process, right? And like somebody's about to make a huge decision, maybe moving even from state to Cookeville. So maybe they live in Memphis or Nashville or Knoxville, and they're moving
Mhm.
here to Cookeville. That's a big deal. They don't know property values like they do in their area, so they're really leaning on you
Mhm.
to help them. And one thing that we read today is that sometimes when people say no, it doesn't really mean no. Have you experienced any of that, or do you do that at times? Like, do you just say no naturally? Then
Definitely.
yeah.
I think it's very quick, you know. I mean, it was
Mhm,
funny. I was talking to my parents this weekend, and my father's bad for it too.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
quick to say no and then actually take in and
mhm,
understand maybe what you were asked,
mhm,
or be able to provide more information or get more information
mhm.
before quickly responding. But I have dealt with that. You know, I think a lot of people start off by saying no, or they hear the word realtor and they're quick
Mhm,
to want to run. But
mhm.
explaining your value and what you can bring helps a lot. And
Wow.
I've worked with quite a few people actually coming from Murfreesboro because of
Mhm.
how big that's kind of growing. And
Yeah,
some people want more of the rural looks around
yeah,
here in town,
yeah.
and explaining what a great city it is and good community and what we
Mm,
all have to offer here
mhm.
for small little Cookeville. You know, it's
Yeah,
growing, ever
yeah.
growing too, but you can still find your peace out there.
Love that,
So,
man. Like, Lucas said about Lindsay today, he said, "No," Lindsay always says, "No means you just don't know."
mm-hmm,
And when we realize that, like, when we realize that maybe people's guard comes up right away
run.
and their natural answer is like, "No," that doesn't really mean they don't want your help. That just
Mm-mm,
means they don't know your value. And so
mm-hmm,
you come beside them, educate them a little bit on the value and how you can help them. You educate them on how wonderful Cookeville is.
mm-hmm.
Were you born and raised here in Cookeville?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Cookeville, and kind of my slogan I thought of today when we were going over that book is the best way to tackle no is by informing.
Mm.
You know, anyone can
Mhm,
say no, but if you
mhm,
inform them and give them the details, most of the time it gives them something to think on, and then
mhm,
you make that connection, and by
mhm.
second contact, you can kind of usually make more progress
Yeah.
by getting through and explaining things. So,
So it's planting seeds
hmm
sometimes. And you're a professional, man, and you're in a professional business. It's like it when I look at real estate, sometimes I think it's like the Wild West. Like they let a lot
oh
of
yeah,
people in that you're thinking like, how'd they get their license?
hmm
And if you've only helped 3 or 4 people, do you really have the skill to be able to, take them from point A to point B?
right,
And the answer is a lot of times, man, a lot of these deals end up being very chaotic.
hmm
But when you're working on a team and in a program and a process from A to B, it's just so much easier. And so in your job right now, your main job is to really just meet clients, build that connection,
hmm
help them find out what they're looking for, help them find it. And
hmm
then the really cool thing is after that, then you hand that off to Miss Renee,
hmm
who will take that from contract to close. Now, you'll still stay in touch with your client, I'm
for
sure,
sure.
and you still help them through the negotiation of the home inspection.
Yep.
All big deals. But at the end of the day, you're free to continue to be in front of clients
hmm
and share your value and the value of, and I love what you said, the value of working with a real estate agent and the value of just a community like Cookville.
hmm
That's powerful, man.
It's definitely one of a kind, and that's probably the side I enjoy the most is getting to know people and build
Mhm.
that relationship. And it's like, you know, if I can win through helping them, then I know they're winning as well by getting what they want. And it
So
just
good.
feels awesome being able to help somebody do something that's, you know, life changing.
Mm.
Honestly, purchasing a house, it's one of a kind. So,
Love it, man. I love it. You're doing such a great job, Gage. One last thing I want to talk about a little bit
mhm,
before we dismiss today, and then we'll pick back up next week and I know or next month, and I know you're just going to continue to do a phenomenal job. Um, but I want to talk a little bit about our commitment cards
mhm,
within the team here at Elevate. We embrace all parties. We want everybody to come and be a part of Elevate. The team side is
mhm,
a little unique in that we do things a little bit more intentionally per
Mhm.
se. And once a week on Tuesdays from about 8:15 to 8:30, we'll
Mhm.
group up in a little circle and we'll go over our commitments. And Gage, can you tell us a little bit about some of the commitments that you're making on that commitment list, and just a little bit about how that feels for us?
Yeah, some of my weekly commitments that I make.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been starting out with roughly about 120 contacts a week
Hmm.
is kind of been my goal, but I've
Hmm.
been getting around 150. I always try to prospect 10 to 15 hours, which I think is very important, getting the
Hmm.
practice on the
Hmm.
phone.
Hmm. Hmm.
And another thing that I think is super important is a lot of times you can dive into a job and get overwhelmed and over worried. And I think always taking time for yourself
I think that's so
once a
good.
week at least to do something you thoroughly enjoy,
Hmm.
and then also always reading your Bible every day. Those have been the
Hmm.
two things I would say that have kept me grounded, because
Hmm.
it can be stressful
Oh
coming
yeah.
into it. Of course, I
Yeah.
have the support of the team in
Yeah.
KC that's
Yeah. Yeah.
beyond beneficial, but the main thing is setting goals,
Hmm.
achieving them every week,
Hmm.
and keeping track so you know when you fall short and what you can change.
I love it.
So
And
it's very,
when
very
you make
beneficial.
those commitments to, read your word, or to take time to do something that you enjoy once a week,
Mhm.
when you make those commitments and you show up on a Monday and you're able to say, check, 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 I did those things,
Mhm.
how does it make you feel?
Oh, I feel a lot better because I
Yeah.
know I've had taken time for myself. I've given proper time to my girlfriend, and I've
Hmm.
I've balanced out my family life. And then
Yes.
when I know that I've helped my clients in the best way I can, and I've done everything I can for them,
Hmm.
and have had
Hmm.
time to do something I love, it just every Monday's a new start and ready to do it again.
And Gage, when you and I talk, I've
Hmm.
been doing this now 18 years, and I love what I do, and I love the people I do this with. When you and I talk, like when you say that this weekend you spent some time with your girl, with Mackenzie, and
Hmm.
that you and her hung out, that you watched a movie, and that you were purposeful about that.
Hmm.
I always try to encourage that, don't I?
You
Yeah.
do, and it is, and I think it's tough starting out because you don't want to miss something.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
Mm-hmm.
respond as quick as possible. You don't want
Mm-hmm.
to miss a
Yeah.
lead, and you always want to be there. But that's why I mentioned it is. I think one of the most important things is to say, hey, even if it's 4 hours, you're going
Yes.
to take those 4 hours to do what you want. Clear your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at your phone,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes I think you forget being a realtor that you can't have time to yourself,
I agree
and you
100%.
can do
I
what you
agree.
enjoy.
I agree. And you know, in the beginning, you're a business owner and you're starting your own business.
Hmm.
You're partnering with Elevate to do that. However, in the beginning, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of thrust to come off the
Hmm.
ground. To put two closed already is amazing. One pending and one that's a lot of effort, a lot of work. But like you said, in the beginning, it's so easy to almost kind of get lost in it and forget yourself, and
Hmm.
maybe not take time for Mackenzie, not take time with your family, with your dad, and
For sure.
and so. But that's the goal of life. We don't want to lose track of those things. Now we do need support.
Hmm.
If my wife Lindsay didn't support me when I first started off, it would be tough
I can
because.
imagine.
But you heard her today up there, right? She said Elijah wasn't allowed to come home until
Hmm.
he talked to 20 people. So I had a lot of encouragement, and I was probably a little different than you, Gage. You seem to be extremely motivated for a young man. Um, I don't feel like I had that motivation until I had my children.
Mm.
So that gave me that next level of motivation. You just come out motivated, and I respect the fire out of that, man. But like you said, when somebody's as motivated as you are, sometimes you just got to be reminded, okay,
Mhm.
and so that you actually write down in your commitments, do one
Mhm.
thing I enjoyed this week. That's powerful. Can you tell us what was
I
it?
do. Yeah, I mainly it's playing pool. As I've mentioned to you, I
Mm,
love playing pool. I love
hmm.
going out with my friends and just shooting a couple games of pool. And
Hmm.
it's a game that requires knowledge too to learn. And
Sure.
and some people think you can just do it easily, but that's why I enjoyed it. It takes my brain off real
Hmm.
estate and what I'm
Hmm.
thinking about for that day, and I just get to relax. And then sometimes it's I want quiet and watching a movie.
Yeah.
So it's always one of those two things. But thoroughly, it helps me a lot. And then the next day, I wake up ready to hit the ground running.
That's awesome, man. So a little time to recharge, and thank you for sharing that with us. You went and
Mhm.
played at Sticks, the
Yes.
new pool hall. One of our friends, Henry,
Hmm.
purchased that and has reopened it. And one thing that I think you and I said we enjoyed about it was there's no smoke smell,
No.
and it's kid friendly and family
Mhm.
friendly, and that goes a long way. Gage, thank you for taking time to share with us here
For
today.
sure. I appreciate it. It
All
was
right,
great. Great
all right.
getting to talk.
Okay, we'll see y'all next month. Thank you.